Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Wet n Wild Pampered collection. If you do want to see a review and a demo, then please keep watching. As a huge favor, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment anything down below. I greatly appreciate it. I read all the comments and I will do my best to reply back. I went to my local Ulta Beauty and purchased everything. They were fully stocked. I'll pop a picture here so you can see what the display looks like. I was so happy that my local Ulta Beauty carried this collection. I purchased 7 out of the 12 products. I didn't purchase the makeup sponge. It has that silicone piece, which I don't like. I've used Wet n Wild makeup sponges in the past. I just don't like, even after I dampen it, it still feels very firm. This makeup sponge retails for $5.99 at Ulta Beauty and Amazon. The second item I didn't purchase is the Pampering Illuminating Face Mist. This retails for $6.99. I don't like anything radiant or glowy on my skin. I am very oily, so I think this product would make me even shinier throughout the day. They also came out with the Pamper Illuminating Body Glow. Again, I don't like to be glowy. I don't even know if this product is going to make my skin sticky, so I passed on this. The last product I didn't purchase was the Pampered Lip Scrub. This retails for $5.99. I already have a ton of lip scrubs that I need to go through, so I passed on this. I wasn't able to find the hair clips on Ulta's website or Amazon. I'm not sure if that item is still available, but that's the last item I didn't purchase. Now let's move on to the 7 items I purchased. The first item is this lip mask. This lip mask retails for $5.99 on Ulta's website and on Amazon. I do want to read a little bit about this lip mask on Ulta's website. Show yourself some love with the luxurious Pampered Lip Mask from the Pampered collection by Wet n Wild. Apply this rich buttery balm overnight or as needed during the day and enjoy softer, calmer lips with a romantic scent of roses. Here's a closer look on what the packaging looks like. It says Wet n Wild Pampered Lip Mask. On the side it says limited edition. Underneath that it says lip mask. On the back it states it's cruelty free and vegan. You get 6 grams of product or 0.21 ounces, and this was made in Mexico. It comes with a safety seal, which I love. Here's what the inside of the lip mask looks like. Let's take a little bit. I have a little bit on my fingernail. I don't like how waxy it feels on the back of my hand. I'm just going to take whatever's left on my finger and I'm going to apply it to my lips. My lips are so dry. It does have a subtle rose scent. It's not overpowering. I don't like how this lip mask feels on my lips. It doesn't feel hydrating. It literally feels like I applied wax to my lips. This product is a pass. Let me remove this lip mask. It's making my lips very dry than it was in the very beginning when I didn't have anything on my lips. Hopefully these lip glosses are good. Each lip gloss retails for $5.99. I do want to read a little bit about these lip glosses. Show yourself some love with the High Shine Scented Pampered Lip Gloss from the Pampered collection by Wet n Wild. Formulated with vitamin E and sodium hyaluronate to make the lips look and feel more radiant. You can enjoy gorgeous romantic color complemented by the soft scent of roses. Here's a closer look on what the lip gloss tube looks like. It says Pampered. On the back you have the list of ingredients. Across that it says Wet n Wild. And then underneath that it states it's cruelty free and vegan, and again this was made in Mexico. This shade is called Glitz Ritual. On the bottom it states you get 5.5 milliliters or 0.18 fluid ounces. Here's what the doe foot applicator looks like. This gloss has a little bit of shimmer, and again it does have that subtle rose scent. Here's what the shade in Glitz Ritual looks like. I'm not into shimmer glosses, but if you are, I think you might like this. I'm going to press my lips together to see if there's any grittiness. There's no grittiness at all. The second lip gloss shade is called Pink Bubble Bath. Pink Bubble Bath has a tiny bit of shimmer in it. It's barely noticeable versus the first shade, and it has a sheer wash of pink. Again, it has that subtle rose scent. Here's what the shade in Pink Bubble Bath looks like. I'm not sure if my camera's gonna pick it up, but there is some micro fine shimmer. But I do like how this shade looks on me. Again, I'm gonna press my lips together to see if there's any stickiness. I can feel the formula on my lips. It doesn't feel goopy or sticky. Here's what those two lip glosses look like side by side. Now let's move on to the makeup stick. Each makeup stick retails for $5.99. I do want to read a little bit about these. Show yourself some love with the Pampered Vitamin E makeup stick from the Pampered collection by Wet n Wild. This multi-purpose makeup can be used seamlessly, enhance, highlight, and add color to the face. Here's a closer look on what the makeup stick looks like. It says Wet n Wild. Underneath that, it says Pampered Vitamin E makeup stick. On the back, you have the list of ingredients. Underneath that, it says not for use around lips, so please don't apply this to your lips. Underneath that, it states it was made in Mexico. This shade is called Good to Be Me. On the bottom, you get 5.5 grams of product or 0.19 ounces. It's vegan and cruelty free. Let's see how much product comes inside of the tube. This is all the product that comes inside of the tube. That's disappointing. Why is the tube so big? At least make the packaging smaller for the product to fit. I find that this was a waste of packaging. Good to Me is described as a pink shade. This blush shade is very pretty. Let's see how this blends out. I like the way it blended out. I haven't set my face with any setting powder yet. Taking a clean blush brush, taking a little bit of product on the brush. Here's how much product I have on my blush brush. Let's apply this to the cheek. Here's what the blush shade in Good to Be Me looks like. I lifted up the concealer underneath, but that's totally fine. The second makeup stick is called Champagne Bath. Again, here's the list of ingredients. Champagne Bath is described as a rose gold. That highlighter is very beautiful. Let's blend it out. The highlighter blended out into nothing. Taking a clean highlighter brush, I'm going to be doing the same thing, taking a little bit of product. Here's how much product I have. Let's see what this looks like. I can't see the highlighter in person, and I don't think my camera is going to pick it up. I want to see what would happen if I apply the highlighter directly on my skin. I can see the highlighter. I'm going to use my fingertip and I'll blend it out. Again, the highlighter disappeared. This shade in Champagne Bath is a pass. I forgot to twist it up to see how much product we get. It's probably the same amount of product that comes in the blush. Again, it's the same amount of product that came in the blush stick. Again, Wet n Wild should have reduced the packaging. Twisting up these makeup sticks are very difficult. You have to use some elbow grease. They also came out with a powder blush. This retails for $5.99. I do want to read a little bit about this powdered blush. Show yourself some love with the luxurious Pampered blush from the Pampered collection by Wet n Wild. This velvety soft pressed powder blush is extra buildable, so you can layer on the color with ease. Here's a closer look on what the packaging looks like. It says Wet n Wild Pampered blush. Underneath that, it says limited edition. On the back, you have the shade name printed. This shade is called Self Love Club. Underneath that, you have the list of ingredients. It states not for use around eyes. You get 7 grams of product or 0.24 ounces. Again, it's vegan and cruelty free, and it was made in Mexico. Here's what the powder blush looks like. Ooh, this feels very soft in the pan. That's such a beautiful shade. Let's blend this out. It looks a little bit chalky and ashy on the back of my hand, but let's see what it looks like applied on the cheek. I applied a little bit of setting powder to this side of my face. Using a clean blush brush, let's dip into the powder. I'm getting a tiny bit of kick up in the pan. Let's see what this looks like. Here's what one layer of the blush looks like. You can barely see it. I'm going to try and build it up. Here's what it looks like built up. It looks so much better. Which side is your favorite? The powder blush side or the cream blush side? Let me know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the eyeshadow palette. This retails for $6.99. I do want to read a little bit about the palette. Show yourself some love with the colorful 4-pan Pampered palette for eye and face from the Pampered collection by Wet n Wild. Featuring a vibrant mix of buttery soft mattes and sparkly shimmers, each richly pigment color blends seamlessly with soft glide application and a high color payoff. Here's a closer look on what the packaging looks like. It says Wet n Wild Pampered palette for eye and face. On the back, you have the shade names and the list of ingredients. You get 6 grams of product or 0.21 ounces, and again, this was made in Mexico. Here's what all 4 eyeshadows look like. We're gonna start off with the first shade. This shade is called Rose Petals. Ooh, this is so soft in the pan. Here's what Rose Petals looks like. I don't like how that's swatched. Let's blend this out. This shade looks a little bit ashy and chalky. The second shade is called Cheers to Me. This is a shimmer. Again, very soft in the pan. Ooh, that's very pigmented. That shade is Vibrant. Let's blend it out. I love the way that blended out. The second to last shade is called Pep Talk. Again, very soft and buttery in the pan. This shade kind of blends in with my skin tone. Let's blend it out. That shade is pretty as well. The last shade is called Claim This. Another pigmented shade. I like how that blended out. Here's what all 4 shades look like swatched on the back of my hand. Taking a clean fluffy brush, I'm going to dip into the shade in Pep Talk. I'm getting a tiny bit of fallout in the pan. Applying this shade in my crease, going back and forth, doing windshield wiper motions. I like how that shadow blended out. I didn't have to dip back in for more product. This shade does have a little bit of shimmer in it, which is fine. Doing the same thing on the other eye. Using that same brush, I'm going to dip into the shade and Claim This. Again, I'm getting a little bit of kick up in the pan. Applying this on my outer V, doing circular motions. Again, that blended out so easily and I didn't have to dip back in. Doing the same thing on the other eye. Taking my finger, I'm going to dip into the shade in Cheers to Me. Pack this in the center of my lid. That shade is Pigmented. Doing the same thing on the other side. Taking a pointed pencil brush, I'm going to dip into the shade in Rose Petals, applying this in my inner corner. You can barely see the shade in Rose Petals. I tried to connect it to the shade in Cheers to Me. I'm looking up close in the mirror. I can barely see the shade in Rose Petals. Doing the same thing on the other eye. Don't love how the shade in Rose Petals looks like applied on the eye. Here's how the eyeshadow look turned out. The cream blush shade has faded versus the powder blush. It's still there. I'm not sure what happened. For mascara, I'm going to apply the Essence Lash Princess. I'm going to reapply the lip gloss shade in Pink Bubble Bath. Here's what everything looks like. My final thoughts on this collection is that I don't like it. The highlighter barely shows up. I like the shade of the cream blush, but I don't think it's long lasting. As you can see, the product is barely there. Plus, I don't like the packaging. I find that it's deceiving for the amount of product. I didn't like the shimmer in both lip glosses. I love their rose comforting lip colors. If you have not seen my review on these, I'll leave it right over here in the cards if you're interested. I didn't like their lip mask. The formula wasn't moisturizing. ColourPop makes some great lip mask. I love the one from Laneige as well. I wanted to love the powder blush, but this shade is too light. Wet n Wild should have released a darker powder blush. The last item I didn't like in this collection is this eyeshadow palette. First shade in Rose Petals barely shows up on my eyes, and I didn't like how chalky it blended out. I only like these 3 shades in this quad. Let me know in the comments down below if you plan on picking up anything from this collection. If you guys did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video.